functions, we will be talking about an interesting concept called function overloading. So function overloading, what exactly it is, let's understand that with the help of an example. I have a simple sum function here with me, taking two integer arguments and then adding them and returning their result. When you have to call it, call to this function is done something like this. You will call the function, it will return the result and we'll directly print it. So this is what we have so far, right? And the answer we'll get is 15 if we run the code. Now I want to make a slight change. I don't really want to pass two arguments. I want to pass only a single argument. So if you do like this, obviously Eclipse is throwing us an error. It says that the function requires two arguments and you cannot pass one. Now I want to allow my user to this function to actually pass one argument, and I'll implicitly add one as the other argument. So I want to do something like this. So if someone passes two arguments, I'll add them. If someone passes only single argument, I want that I should increase the first argument or the only argument by one. How can you do that? So in a language like C++, there are concept of default parameters. They don't exist in Java. They are not there in Java. In case you don't know about it, that's absolutely okay because it's not in Java. But yes, coming back to the point, what I want to do is I want to give user the flexibility around how many parameters user wants to pass. So you can do that this way. So I can create another function, same name, call it sum, and then return a plus 1 as value. This is something which is absolutely okay. You can do it. Now I'll write two print statements, sum A and sum B. Which statement will give me which result? What result? Let's see that. So first call, line 18 call is giving you 11. That means it has added 1 to A. Second call is giving you 15 because it has added A and B. So this decision, which function to call exactly, happens on the runtime. When you are running the code, it will figure out what is the type of argument and number of arguments. For example, in this call, there is only one argument. Right, so there are two function calls with name sum. Which one to be called depends on which one matches the syntax currently. So there is only one argument, so this is the correct match. In case you pass two arguments, this is the correct match. Now whatever we have done so far is only for integers. Let's say I want to give user the flexibility to add two doubles as well. So this is something which you can do. Have another copy of sum function. This time instead of integer, pass a double. So this is okay and I'll store it. Now if from main I'll pass two decimal values, 10.6, maybe 1.8. So this is going to call the double version of sum. So which sum out of three existing definitions of sum, which one to call is decided on the runtime based on the type of arguments and number of arguments. These are two parameters that affect, right? So in one case there are one argument, in another case there are two arguments. So if you pass one, this is the probable call. If you pass two arguments, both of them are double, this will be the function that will be called. If you pass two arguments, both of them being integer, this will be the call that you can make. So depending on the type and number of arguments, you can actually have multiple variations of same function, and this is the concept that we call as function overloading. And it can be usable and it can be very usable, I should say, where you want your user to have flexibility and you want that your sum function should work on whatever input type user wants to give, be it char, be it double, be it float. If you want to give that flexibility, you can. So I hope this is clear. Just try this code, experiment a little bit, and hopefully that should give you more clarity. Thank you.